Hello, dear friends. Hello in this series of interviews with teachers, with non-dual teachers in all over the world, part from the liberatory power of Eros. This is, let's say, big international online retreat. I could say even revolutionary. And when we discover this, we can see that this is even not revolutionary, but ordinary, something that is very here, very grounded. So now our guest is Adam Chacksfield. Um, I feel him like a godfather of this retreat because, uh, yeah, he gave the name and yeah, somehow someone with to whom I'm working with. So welcome, Adam. Welcome here.
Mhm. Mhm. So lovely to be with you, Lubo. Mhm. Mhm.
Let's start with little introduction. Um, so you are non-dual teacher, spiritual teacher. How many years? And what you are doing? Mm, Just
Yeah,
to.
15 years. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm. And in your work, I know, uh, let's say you have like two branches, awareness, love, desire, and eros, something like this.
So the way I'm imagining it right now is the broad work is called awareness, love, desire, and
Mhm.
then I also do like particular work, especially around erotic shadow play right now. But I also do erotic embodiment work. So there's sort of like yeah, uh, um, sort of categories within categories, you know. And part of that is because it's Eros is like so charged that there are. It's almost like the spiritual community divides into two camps. There are people who will do like want to do erotic retreats, erotic work that's focused on Eros, and then there's people who like want to do work that like has no Eros, that Eros is banned, isn't really talked about. So it's very hard to do work that like integrates Eros in the way that I think it should be.
This is beautiful topic. Uh, why you think is this integration is difficult for people? Something like why we should separate something from something that is there is no separation at all.
Yeah,
Well,
right. I mean, it's like uh, I mean, if you just look at the non-dual teaching, like pretty much nobody talks about sex. It's sort of like we just avoid that topic or we say something trite about it. But we really don't. We try not to talk about it if we're non-dual teachers. And then there's the people who are the other version of non-duality called Tantra, which people imagine is all about sex. It's like, it's like there's no in between there as far as like people's view of it is concerned. Yeah, and
well,
it's so charged, right? Sex is so charged. It's like there's so much shame around it. So it's like either we fully embrace it or we like deny it, repress it. Yeah.
yeah, in my work, I meet the same. When I mention word eros, everyone's something else is going on here. It's not in the right direction. Um, uh,
And when I had my erotic opening, uh, you know, it, it's I realized it was like way too powerful to like not be part of the teaching, and I hadn't like other non-dual teachers, I really hadn't addressed sex, even though I'm teaching about embodiment and we're doing authentic movement. Eros is in the field, like bodies are erotic. um, but we don't address it, we don't talk about it. And then I had my big sort of erotic awakening, and it was just like, okay, this is way too powerful to not be part of the teaching. And I
wow.
knew if I say anything about inviting people into erotic embodiment, I'm going to lose a bunch of people. But people will be like, oh my God, he's totally left the camp. He's no longer a spiritual teacher, or he's one of those bad spiritual teachers who just wants to have sex with his students or something.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In my work, I feel the same. There's the same, like, say, fears or something like this. Um, you mentioned erotic awakening. This is sounds, let's say, a little bit further than um, in previous interview with Marlis Myoki. She mentioned Doc Jen, and that they have something like I don't know the word koan, or this is not koan, of course, but invitation um, to be intimate with 10,000 things.
Mhm.
But to be intimate, this is not like the label of underwear. This is to be intimate, is to be like intimate with your partner. This is to be in erotic relationship.
Mhm.
But erotic awakening from here, this is much deeper, much powerful. And so, ah,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
uh, hmm.
Mhm.
So let's say non-dual awakening and erotic awakening, how we can connect these two in your experience, where there's
Uh,
a realization of non-dual. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, there's so when we're talking about when we're using language, it's important to sort of first of all say like there's no like map of the universe or spirituality or the spiritual path that's like the map. There's no like authoritative map of reality. So we're talking about things that you know we're using language in order to express ourselves, in order to express ourselves hopefully in helpful ways to communicate, to connect. But it's not like reality is really like these maps. So if we talk about non-dual awakening, it's like, well, non-duality is not a thing. so, so immediately we're in paradox, right? But
Uh-huh.
if we talk about it as a thing, um, for the way I might use it uh, is that freedom of the mind where we see like that all the things are made up. Like it's like what's here before we classify, before we divide this into self and other or this and that. So we see that is that overlay of meaning of separation is has been added to this. This is not in itself separate. There's no separation here.
Mhm.
Um, Erotic awakening for me points to like the experience that I have, which is the connection with like the life energy, the erotic energy that's like a it's kind of like the channel opening. So for most of us, we've experienced a lot of shaming and shutdown. Can you hear my phone going off?
No, no,
Oh,
not
good.
not at all.
Zoom is so good at cutting that out. So for most of us, we've experienced that contraction of our life energy. Like be normal, don't express anything, sit down, be quiet, be a good one, be no, So we contracted our life energy. Our natural expression has been restricted, and like there's less life energy that's able to move through the body because of that. And my sense of it is that what happened for me was there was an opening that happened that allowed the like far more life energy to come through my system.
Mhm.
And it was dramatically like, oh, this is like a different energetic system than I've had before. It's like there's so much energy available here, so much pleasure, so much joy. Uh, really, really, yeah, falling away of the habitual contraction that we have around. Most of us have been conditioned to have, to not allow that movement of energy through the body.
Mm. Yeah, and now is, let's say, for the people that are watching this interview, maybe it's more clear why the liberatory power of Eros. That, let's say, the second title is Erotic Awakening and Non-Dual Liberation.
Mm-hmm.
So this is liberation, to liberate this energy, but not to liberate ourselves from all energies. So this is ah. Mm.
Yeah, I mean, again, with language, there are many meanings to these things. So, I mean, like, I love the word eros, right? Because it points to sexuality, but it also points beyond sexuality. It's way bigger. It includes everything. It's also points to life energy. You know, we could use that term. So I think it's helpful to embrace paradoxes like that, where the ambiguity of the meaning, rather than like trying to nail things down. Uh, because reality is like that. Everything's it's not. It doesn't come in discrete blocks.
Oh, okay. And mm, why liberatory power of Eros?
Yeah. So another way we can use eros is that or we can use the liberatory power of eros. That phrase, liberatory power of eros, is pointing to how it's a resource for sort of non-dual liberation. So it's a way for us to actually experience the oneness. Like Eros carries us beyond ourselves, beyond our limitations, beyond the conditioning, into the experience of like being one with the life flow, with the movement of creative life force. So it's liberating in that sense that we actually get to directly experience being one with the universe, rather than having all these contractions where we're resisting our experience. So often, again, with the conditioning, like there's the experiences we want and the experiences we don't want, and then we're sort of constantly like contracted against the experiences we don't want and trying to avoid them and fearing them. With Eros, it's like there's an invitation to embrace all of our experience. Like it's all for us. It's all made up of life
Mhm.
energy
Wow.
that we can feel, we can tap into, we can experience and enjoy and feel the pleasure of, feel the vitality of.
Mm.
So it takes us out of that dualistic relationship with the universe where we're like trying to protect ourselves against reality. And instead we can be with the movement of the reality, like giving ourselves to the flow of it.
Mm. It's so beautiful how you are describing this. I'm sure that everyone who is watching this interview just will see
Hmm.
for what we are talking about.
I could give an example actually that's
Yeah, super,
like
please.
me recently. So I've recently experienced a relationship breakup, uh, a very slow transition from an intimate relationship, from a partnered relationship. And this brought up a lot of grief in me. It's like, oh, the loss, and part of me like resisted experiencing that. It's like, oh, I don't want to feel that loss. It shouldn't be this way. I want it to be different. Don't go, like wanting to hold on to what had been. And then there was a surrender in me to let me go into that experience, the like acute pain of like loss, of like grief. Like let me feel the heartbreak there. Let me go all the way into it somatically. like to feel the intensity, the juice of it. And it's like so powerful. It's so beautiful. It's so grounding. It's like just obliterating, it's just like, and I could see so clearly like this experience is for me. It's an erotic experience, this experience of loss of a romantic partner. It's an erotic experience. It's a powerful erotic experience that's for me. I get to be here all the way here for it, to experience the aliveness, the acuteness of it.
It's so beautiful example because before that you mentioned pleasure, and okay, so we are including only pleasurable experiences. Yeah, but grief, no way. So Eros is so powerful that can include everything.
Yeah, yeah. And this is the beauty of Eros, right? Is like the way that it can embrace experiences. So we're often familiar in many spiritual circles, people will happily talk about love embracing different parts of us and different experiences. Love the one that's hurt or the one that's scared, which is wonderful and powerful and like great. But there's also what we often miss and we don't talk about is the way that Eros can embrace those experiences as well. That there's a there's there's a way to actually like enjoy the aliveness in like fear in our system. Like,
Mm.
it's so like shaky and like intense, or even shame, like the humiliation and like the way that our skin flushes and the heat of it and it's like so intense. Like wow. Like all these can be delicious erotic experiences if we're able to open to them, to tap the eros in them.
Mm. Yeah, I can share my experience with that. When, um, okay, let's put in words. When I shift in this, so Eros is meeting all experiences, and then, yeah, I can explain it with this yin yang circle. So there is a Eros and grief, and they're becoming one that are, yeah, eating or dancing together or transforming together. It's an absolutely new way of experiences everything what is coming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's like eros, like it's already like infused in everything. So it's like it's that turning towards eros, turning towards the desire for aliveness, like our enjoyment of aliveness. Like we're here to live. Like I mean, again, I'm not big on like authoritative cosmologies, but one way to look at it is like that's why we're not just floating around as infinite non-dual open space. Like for some reason, we have these bodies, these very particular experiences. We get to be here for these particular experiences. And to feel the intensity, the aliveness, the juice of these particular experiences.
Oh, that's so beautiful. So beautiful how yeah, you're sharing this. Yeah, this is the reason for me to create this non-dual, yeah, international retreat with different teachers. Uh, uh, yeah, to give this to the world, to people, to experience life in absolutely opposite direction or different or new. Ah.
Yeah, yeah. It just hasn't been. It's like it's so. There's been such a separation in non-dual teaching and like erotic embodiment. It's like they're so separate. So it's so important. It's so important. It's so valuable to address the erotic. So I think I'm so grateful for you in providing the opportunity. Like interviewing the teachers and bringing us together to lead a retreat online.
Oh. Um, yeah, so we want to invite more people to come. Um, how we can seduce everyone. I think what we share here is absolutely enough. So to experience everything that's coming, to not cut grief from the experience shame or trying to fix ourselves. I feel grief, fix me, or shame, fix me, or so. Let's say this is something like end of all fixation,
Mm,
because fixation in the underground means that there is something wrong, and this is the most painful way.
mm, mm,
Ah, but
mm,
for Eros, nothing wrong. This everything is delicious.
mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. And like, and our desire, is part of that. Like, even our desire for the particular, the way that it like informs our movement, it inspires our movement. Like, oh, I'm drawn to it. I'm seduced by it.
Mhm.
I love that word seduction that you use. Like, yeah, like letting reality seduce us, allowing ourselves to be seduced.
Mhm. Yeah.
Honoring the seduction.
Ah, okay. So invitation is to everyone who is watching this video. Allow yourself to be seduced. This is so beautiful experience. Ah, ah. Mm.
Mm, mm,
Mm. Mm. What else you can share from your experience with when you are mm, holding your retreats one on one? You are meeting different people.
mm, mhm.
What is happening when you are working with people in that direction, when they are open for to meet errors and to experience that? Is there
Yeah,
some? Hmm?
maybe I could talk about erotic shadow play, which is one of the things I've been doing a lot of workshops on recently.
Yeah,
Uh,
sound juicy. Okay, please share.
yeah, because what we're really what we're the way I'm using the term shadow is basically those rejected parts of ourselves, those parts that like are um, we imagine shouldn't be here, and what's wrong with me that I feel this, or I have this part, or I want that. So the workshops I lead like invite us to connect with these parts, to give them permission for their expression, and to really enjoy the expression, like to notice how fun it is, like to let these parts of us express. Even the most villainous, terrible parts of us, like the murdering, torturer, sadistic, whatever. It's like it's so fun to play those parts, like to let them come through, to have expression in a safe way. It's like to let ourselves feel the juiciness of these parts of ourselves and the eros of them. And when we create a container like that, it creates so much safety. And everyone has such a great time, like bringing these parts of ourselves forward that we normally relate to as like, oh, it's a terrible problem. Like, oh my God, why am I like this? Why do I do this? What am I supposed to do when this happens? And like to like give ourselves permission to play with these experiences, to enjoy them. It's so radical, so radical.
Yeah, this is like I like how you say it in this way. This is like how people that are watching this video when they feel resistance, something like I hear you, but I don't want to hear you. This is because all this is pointing here to see what is going on in us, and then resistance is coming. It's better to not hear, but you share that this is safety place. There is playfulness, openness, and enjoyment. So something like let's meet invitation to everyone. Let's meet our resistance like resistance against play and joy. Hmm.
Hmm.
Let's soften in this way. Ah,
Yeah,
this retreat is not to fix anyone.
exactly. Yeah. And I also just want to make a distinction again because a lot of people are familiar with like, oh, bring love to these parts of ourselves that we resist. That's really common to hear that. And again, wonderful, really powerful to like bring love. But a lot of the time, we have that. There's like, oh, I'm trying to accept these parts of myself. And and Eros is such a resource because it's like that part of you that you're resisting, it's like actually like it wants to have fun. You want to enjoy that part. Like it has life energy. It has juice to it. It's so beautiful, like to bring these parts forward and play. So children do this all the time. They're all constantly playing games. Like, I'll be the bad guy, you be the good. Constantly playing games where they're killing each other or imprisoning each other, doing all kinds of terrible things. But it's like, but they're having such a blast with it. They're having so much fun because it's play.
Hmm. Wow. This sounds like invitation. Um, how sounds in English? Something like to be bring back in life. Is that correct?
To bring back the aliveness.
To that this is like invitation for everyone to that there is opportunity to mm, to be again in life, to be included, to enjoy fully,
Hmm.
because usually there is a suppression and disconnection, and yeah.
Yeah.
And now this is beautiful opportunity. No need to, because uh, let's love ourselves. It's like I should love how to love this, but for Eros there is no such. It's just coming
Yeah.
and taking. No should.
Yeah. Yeah.
So effortless. Mm.
And like, it's a lot of us sort of move through life where we're trying to be the good one. We're trying to be the one that like, succeeds or whatever, is lovable, deserves love. So we're trying, and we imagine that we do that by like trying to eliminate all the parts of us that don't fit the good one. So we're just trying to get rid of all these parts of us and leave them behind and deny they're here and squeeze the life out of them. But when we do that, we're typically squeezing the life out of ourselves. So we have that experience of feeling like kind of like like hollow, performative, like oh, I've got to perform the good one. I've got to like show up and perform and pretend that I'm the good one, and none of this other stuff exists. And it feels so shallow and also fragile. Like, what if this comes through and I can't hide it anymore? Or I get, somebody does something and then this comes up. The embarrassment. I need to be more numb, more controlled. So we've played the game that way, and it's like so there's so much fear in it, so much shame in it, and it's like it starves us of life energy, and it leads us nowhere. It leads to like being basically dead and numb. uh,
Mm.
the erotic way is like to give permission to all these parts of us, like to know, like, wow, there's so much here. Everything that's possible is like lives inside me. Like including all the bad stuff out there that I'm like typically saying, like, oh, thank God I'm me and not those terrible people, those bad people, or those lesser people, you know, those unspiritual people. So rather than like doing that, like doing the self and other thing, like I've got to make myself perfect and not like the other people. Instead, we're embracing and we're saying like, no, like I have all of that, everything I see out there, I can find in myself.
Oh.
I'm vast. And then we have so much agency that it's not about identity because we know like, yeah, there's no identity. It's like we're so big. And we get to choose how we show up. Like, what game do I want to play in life? How do I want to show up? And it's like, and we have full permission there, and we just let the desire, we let aliveness take us where it takes us.
So beautiful. Mhm. Yeah, for me, we mentioned identity. This was first click when identity dropped. Oh, there is no authorities, no, yeah.
Yeah.
You can ask everyone for everything. It's- yeah.
Hmm.
And just role play, how you mentioned these children, how I played the big one, yeah, the good one, the bad one.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, and like so, when we realize our vastness, again, this is a very non-dual, like we realize our non-duality, our we're everything, we're nothing, there's no identity here. When we realize that, it often leaves people with a question of like, well, then what? Like what do I do? Like I've got this body and like I'm here. What? And non-duality doesn't really answer that question. It's like it just says like, yeah, you don't have to pretend that you're a person, that you're a narrow thing. You can realize your bigness, you can realize your vastness, your openness, your emptiness, your nothingness.
Mm.
But Eros is what arises to answer the question. It's like, yeah, what do I do? It's like what are you inspired to do? What does life want to do through you? What does Eros want to do with you? Or love want to do with you? Like what is this movement of life energy, this creative life being that you are? How does it want to play here? And the invitation is just to allow that to happen, to surrender to Eros, to surrender to the movement of life energy, to allow it to take us wherever is like most alive, most, whatever we're most curious about, whatever's most inspiring, like to give ourselves permission for that. Knowing that there's no incompleteness, there are no wrong moves, there's no way you're supposed to get to, there's no end result. Like Eros isn't looking for an end result. It's not like Eros is going to lead you, it's like Eros arrives anywhere. It's just like, okay, now what? It's just like on to the next thing.
Yeah.
There's no destination. There's nothing at stake in terms of like, oh my God, I have to get there. I have to become this. Yeah, it's free play.
Wow. Mm.
There's also, as I was, thinking about this topic, I remembered, when I was in high school, when I was around 16, uh, I was very miserable in high school. It's very like pass your exams or you're a failure. Like just going through the grind of like, oh, I've got to pass my exams, misery, misery. Mustn't ruin my life by failing the exam. And a new girl came to our school, and I felt so much desire for her, like so much love. Like it awakened like erotic energy in me. And and we just hang out as friends, but like there was that like buzz of erotic energy like filled my whole life. Like now I wanted to get up in the morning. I wanted to go to school because she was going to be there. And I think that's really maybe that's a thing that people can relate to as well, like how these moments can happen for us where it totally changes our experience of life because there's something erotic happening. Our desire has been aroused, and it like infuses everything. It changes the texture of our life experience. And that's what Eros does. Like that tapping into Eros, allowing ourselves to feel Eros, it infuses life. It changes the color of everything. It brings, like it makes everything more juicy and interesting. This is why it's so helpful to point to Eros, like the importance of Eros. And our culture is constantly saying like, don't look at Eros. Eros is bad, or it belongs only in the bedroom, with your your spouse, it's sort of like a trivial
Think.
concern, yeah, frivolous, but it's actually essential. It's essential. Like it's the essence of like the life energy, the life force. It's like it's the reason to be here, the reason to live. Without it, it's like it's so hard to enjoy life. If Eros is shut down, it's like, what is the point? I can just struggle to survive or try to earn people's respect by like succeeding at something, but what's the point? Where's the juice? Where's the pleasure? The inspiration?
No words are coming here to
Yeah, it all just falls back into silence. All these waves and like,
Yeah, I'm so happy to making this interview with you because it's that real inspiration is recorded right now. So
mm,
and will be spread.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah, it's beautiful, like capturing this, like sort of like this which can't be captured. It's like and you can when we feel those waves of like excitement, and then it's like that's totally the movement of Eros. It's like it's so not interested in just like steady like one note forever and ever. It's like it has these waves, this movement. Like the energy level goes up and it comes down, and it's like, and we get to be here for the whole ride. Like none of it's wrong. It's like Marlies was saying in her interviews that like, sitting in silence, like just the stillness, and then desire arises, eros arises,
By
and
itself.
then yeah, like by itself, yeah, it's like there's just this natural movement, and then falls back to silence, and then yeah, it's like the movement, the stillness. There's no should here. It's not like we should be, you know, uh, yeah, like doing anything in particular. It's not like we should be having lots of sex or having no sex, or it's just like we just let the movement happen the way it wants to happen.
For me, this is like to discover in silence. Is there such direction, erotic direction? And then, oh my God, what is coming is just pictures, pictures. So wow, it's so the answer is big yes with
Mm-hmm.
you're talking about this? Yeah, this is here.
Yeah, yeah, it's so wild. And like it doesn't need a reason. Like like often we think like our desires need a reason. They've got to be justified. They've got to like have a purpose. Like an end result, a goal. And it's like, but Eros is like it's like aliveness is has its own purpose. It's like it's self-evident. It's like it doesn't need any justification. It's like I want to is totally fine. Like because it's like inspiring for me. That's like the highest authority.
Mm.
It's the blessing of like, yeah, eros of life, of the movement of life. Before we make up a bunch of reasons why, like why the universe, why these bodies?
No meaning.
Oh, that's what life's doing.
Mm. In my journey with Eros, I found for the very first time that every memory that is coming is so juicy. This is like there is a space for this particular memory to come.
Mm,
And through Eros, this is wow, this is allowed. So yeah, maybe there was suppression of why this is coming,
mhm, mm,
but now wow, there is such memory and is bringing beautiful things just to serve to serve what I don't
mhm.
know, enjoyment or freedom or yeah, no need to put in meaning.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm, can we invite on this retreat only non-dual people or everyone who is interested to meet these parts in him? Like in non-duality, this is no meaning of this question, but yeah, can you expand on that? Do you meet only people that are spiritual seekers or ordinary people with ordinary life, not interested at all, just what is your experience?
Mm. Yeah, I mean, definitely people don't need to be defining themselves as spiritual seekers. We're going to, I mean, we're exploring life, right? We're exploring the mystery of like this experience of like being here, like we're exploring the aliveness of it, the juice of it. Uh, yeah. Um, it feels like it's for everyone, and uh, yeah, people. It will draw the people who are curious, right? The people who are interested in these questions, exploring this, exploring deeply.
Yeah, because exploration is in us, in them, let's say. It's not somewhere outside. So everyone can find what you and other teachers are pointing.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, in the registration form for the retreat, there is a question, mm, what is your relationship with your, I'm not sure, something like your erotic dimension or, yeah.
Hmm.
So, yeah, just for curious to see how people are connected.
Yeah, yeah. Beautiful.
Mm.
Mm. Yeah, for many of us, there's been so much constriction around the erotic dimension, right? Like there's so much, shame around it. We've been so encouraged to, yeah, exclude it or compartmentalize, put it in a very small space. Yeah, I remember at a certain point in my path, I was, already teaching non-duality, teaching embodiment, and there was a certain point where I was like, I realized like I don't where the hell does sex fit in? Because none of my teachers had addressed that. Like and I knew that I was still interested in sex, but I had no idea where it fit, because no one talked about it, other than in these sort of, you know, dismissive terms. So it's like, well, I guess it's over there somewhere, like it's not very important, but it's still seems kind of important to me. So
It is
you know,
coming.
and
Yeah.
And I remember a moment where I was like talking to my partner at the time about this, and I said, look, I have no idea what sex is, but I really want to be curious about what is sex, like what is going on there, what is that whole realm, and I have no idea where it leads. I'm like totally, like no agenda about it. Maybe it leads to sex or tantric sex orgies. Maybe it leads to celibacy. Like just to really be in the inquiry, like what is that?
Wow, this is very beautiful direction.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that curiosity. Yeah, because what we've been taught about sexuality is so false. It's so false. We've been given such limited, restrictive models about what sex is supposed to be and what our desires are supposed to look like and what arousal is supposed to look like such restrictive models. So most of us have shame and most of us are shut down because we're like, I don't want to be one of those people, or I don't want to, that's weird. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with me that I want that I'm turned on by this? We have so much shame around it. And, we're not given an invitation to be curious about it. Most spiritual teaching, sex, whatever. Keep it in the bedroom or don't do it at all, or but it's trivialized. But like to really be curious about it, what is it? Like what is it we're wanting when we want sex or we're curious about sex? Like what is desire? What's arousal? What's in there? And really giving permission for it. Like it's a totally valid experience. It's and when we look at it, when we start to like really be in the experience and like come out of the shame and fear around it, it's delicious. Like that whole realm, desire, arousal, it's so delicious and enjoyable, nourishing for our bodies. It's beautiful. And again, it has no destination. It's not about like having an orgasm or about having sex or, and it can totally include any of those things. But it's very clearly that that's not the whole universe. It's not the whole universe. It's like way bigger. And Eros is constantly pointing to that. It's constantly taking us beyond. This girl in high school, for 2 years, we never kissed. I don't think we even held hands, but I was lit. Like, how is this possible? The transformation of Eros, like it was happening. It's like really being present to like our direct experience, like how we experience it. And it's always so particular for each of us. Like the way that certain things like give us erotic charge, give us that thrill, give us that curiosity. The ways we like to play, the ways we like to express. It's so particular. And it's just so hard of us to come out of that contracted model of like, this is what it's supposed to be. And like when we get together with a partner and have sex, it's like it's supposed to follow the script of like what sex is supposed to look like, what we saw in the movies or we saw in porn, rather than like actually being honest about like what is it that I'm really interested in? What really wants to happen here between us right now? And really being curious and being in that exploration, opening to the mystery of it. Who knows where it leads?
Yeah. I like the word exploration. Yeah, we are open space and you can put our attention to what we're interested, what sex is. Let's see. It's happening only here. No, mm. So let's find what is that. Is it possible this to harm us or to break us or to make us wrong or
Right. It's so natural. It's so life-giving.
Mm.
Yeah, we're not broken.
His desire. I want more, but from what? From the same.
Yeah, I can see it as we're just sitting here, like sort of like resting together. It's like there's the like just the delicious tingle of like the eros, like the life energy. Yeah.
Yeah. To speak and investigate what Eros is and what is going on around Eros.
Hmm.
Ah, there is no end of to. You can't be full of that enough from Eros. It's Mhm. Maybe we can finish like this.
Yeah.
Mhm. So you are on 11th of September. This is the date of your retreat. Uh,
Yes. Yeah. That's my part. Yeah.
your part. Yeah. So this is 6 day retreat. First is with Q&A, the meeting all teachers. This 10th of September. 11th is you. Then our yeah other teachers until 15th of September.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really excited for it. Yeah. Yeah. To be exploring with everyone and yeah, all the different teachers with their different yeah different ways of exploring and looking and yeah,
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah. And I'm so thrilled. This is 6 days. So the participants will be one wave. Let's say this wave is Adam, then second wave, the third, the five waves, one after another.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm. So guys, join us in this beautiful journey exploring the juiciness of life. So this
Mm,
invitation for me, from Adam also. Yeah.
totally. Yeah. Yeah. I really look forward to meeting you. Yeah. In September, exploring with you.
Mm. Okay. And for the end, beyond under the video, beyond the video, there will be Adam's contact website if you want to reach him, to work with him, or to see what he offers. You can find him, and also details for the retreats will be there.
Right.
So, thank you, Adam, for this beautiful
Mm,
interview.
thank you, Luvo. Really lovely exploring with you. So fun.
Yeah, really. So juicy. Thank you, Adam, and keep in touch. Much love. Bye. And much love to everyone.
Mm.
Uh,